I wanted to create this video because I feel like there's a lot of creators out there who have so much potential, but they're just too kind of scared to put themselves out there, their authentic self, because of judgment or worry about what other people might think of them. And look, I completely understand. So I have been on YouTube for now over a year, but before this I had 2 more YouTube channels that were a complete disaster. So I do understand the feeling of kind of, putting yourself out there for what feels like the whole world's going to be watching. You feel like you need to know everything. You feel like you need to get everything right. God forbid you say something wrong, or you mess up, or you don't have the right equipment, or whatever it is. So all those kind of thoughts in the back of your mind is the things that can stop you from, putting yourself out there. But let me tell you this, that through all my years of experience on YouTube and, on other social media platforms, people just don't care. There has been so much more positive kind of outcomes of my videos than negative. You will get, of course, as you do, you get occasional someone will say, oh, I don't like it, or you're this, or you're that. But honestly, it gets to a point where those kind of comments, or, their opinions just go over your head. The thing to always remember in the back of your mind is you want to create something. This is your passion. You want to achieve something that you set out to do. So why would you let somebody else's opinions or somebody else's thoughts stop you from doing that? It just doesn't make sense. And the thing that I always keep in the back of my mind, and it's a little bit depressing, but you're not going to be here forever, and neither am I. One day we will end up disappearing and dying and wherever we'll go. But you just want to make the most of your time while you're here. And if that means you wanting to create content and express yourself in the way that you truly want, then why would you want to stop yourself from doing that? Why would you want to let other people stop you from doing that? I always think there's so many people who made absolute of themselves online, and then there are people who just want to express how they feel or say something, and they're too kind of scared to do that. And look, like I said, I completely understand. If you're for example a beginner or someone who's just starting out creating content, and you want to kind of, what's the right word to say, you kind of want to be liked. Nobody wants to put out content and for people to start going, oh, this guy's rubbish, or she's this, or he's that. No, I know that feeling. Nobody wants that. The thing is, there's like I just mentioned, there's just so many people out there who create a lot worse content, and they don't care, and neither should you. For me, it was exactly the same thing with this YouTube channel. I didn't know much about camera equipment. I knew the very basics. I knew the basics of editing, and I always thought to myself, well, there's already people who are creating better content than I am. Then why should I kind of jump on this niche? Who's going to care about what I think? And the thing is, there is always room for a new person. There's always room for someone new to come in and say that how they feel of something. Maybe I have my own opinion about this camera. This is why you should do it like this. And I know it's kind of easier said than done to just try to block out all the kind of negative thoughts that you have about yourself or about the things that you're going to be creating. But once you kind of start and you post that first video, you post a second video, that your fifth, no, I just jumped the gun, your fourth, your fifth, it honestly just becomes like a day-to-day life. You don't even think about it anymore. But making that first start is probably one of the most important things. And so what if it doesn't work out? So what, for example, you don't get any views. Instead of kind of just being down about it, just try and figure out something different. Figure out a different type of thumbnail or title. Figure out a different type of editing style. If a video doesn't work out, don't be too discouraged. Like I mentioned before, this is my 3rd YouTube channel. The 2 that I had literally were a complete disaster. I just had some girl just staring at me because I'm talking to a camera, but ayo. But yeah, don't be too discouraged. I'm not sure who said it, but there was this thing where somebody said that your first 100 videos, they're not going to make a difference. You're not going to get any views. Your videos will suck. And it's completely true. If you're a beginner creator who's just starting out, you can't expect yourself to be the best. It just takes time. It takes time. It takes a lot of patience, trial and error. By the end of it, it will pay off. The day that I got this YouTube channel monetized was honestly the best feeling ever. And for 6 years, that's what I've been trying to do with my other YouTube channels. And when I finally managed to do it for this one, I was like, wow. And like I said, it took so many like trials and errors of just constantly trying new things, trying to kind of create different types of content just to see what works. But in the end, if you just stick at it and just don't care about, other people's opinions and just, do the thing that you want to do, you will get there. I mean, if you look at my first video compared to the videos I'm creating now, one of my biggest things was speaking to the camera. I absolutely hated it. I had no confidence because I kept stuttering my words. And because obviously my English is not my first language, I kind of always felt like paranoid about making mistakes when I'm speaking, or not making any sense or speaking too fast, which I sometimes do. And all those things just made me feel like every time I picked up the camera, it just felt like a chore kind of thing. But after years of doing this now, I'm just like, yeah, this is easy. And once you get to that point, it honestly feels like, don't even know how to describe this either. It's just such a great feeling of like you've managed to accomplish something that you put all the blood and sweat into it. I won't say blood because sweat and tears. There you go. You put sweat and tears into it. But that's it. That's literally what I wanted to say. And like, for example, I'm just literally talking to a camera in the van on the way to London. This is nothing like, production quality video, but who cares? I just wanted to say how I feel. But anyway, guys, I want to thank you so much for watching and all your support throughout this year and helping me to get this channel monetized. And yes, I will see you in the next video. Cheerio. And by the way, this is my second take. The first take, I forgot to turn on autofocus and I literally was talking for about 10 minutes without being in focus. I know, right? Supposed to be the creator who knows things about cameras and he can't even turn autofocus on. Who cares? So why would you let other people's opinions stop you doing what you want to do?